but it's been a long week. Yep, it's been a long week. I decided I was going to live stream today just because I wanted to hold myself accountable, because I literally have not worked on content all week, which is pretty rare. Typically speaking, I have like a couple of, hey, how are you doing? I am so glad to see you. Literally, you joining the stream makes doing the stream worth it. Oh, nice to meet you. Welcome. At this point, this is like the first time. You know what? To be completely honest, I am so. This was a rough week. Like, this was a rough week. So, I'm trying to reset. It's Friday here in Japan, so I feel like everybody's allowed to have rough days, or like maybe a rough couple of days, but at some point you gotta like reset. I'm getting stabbed by Loki. Speaking of rough weeks, Loki had an accident this week. He snuck into the living room, and usually we have like a cover over the couch to keep the cats from shedding all over the couch. But Loki, unbeknownst to anybody, got himself locked in the living room overnight. And I woke up and I was like cleaning in the living room, and I was like, whew, I'm kind of tired. And I lay back on the couch and I'm like, something smells really, really bad. And I realized that he had an accident on the couch. So now I have the couch cover kind of like draped. I know, it was bad. And the fact that I literally was like inches away from it, like if I had like sat in the poo, I would be so upset. But yeah, the couch cover is like draped over the couch in a way that it's not usually set up. So he's like underneath it playing and like stabbing me with his paws. He's not trying to be mean, but he's just like, I'm getting kind of like jabbed. He's having fun. How are you? That is part of my story of how the week went. But how are you doing? How's it going over there? I'll show you Loki. He has a fort right now. You see him? Your dog knows better. He puts his paw on the door when he wants to go potty. And has puppy pads. So, my cats are very good about going to the litter box. Like, they know where their potty is. But the thing is, usually at night, they can kind of like run around the house. They can't go into the bedrooms because they will either probably chew on something, or like they'll just like wake us up playing. So like they kind of know when it's bedtime. They just kind of like either go in their room or they run up and down the stairs playing. And that's like what they do with their free time. But Loki got his behind locked up in the living room. So he could not get to his potty, and he couldn't unlock the door, so he was stuck. So that's what happened. It wasn't a malicious act. He just got himself stranded, but I'm sure as unfun as it was for me, it was even worse for him. Thankfully, he's okay. Yeah, that was kind of a nasty surprise. Huh, Loki? I also have been experimenting to see why the birds are not using the bird feeder. So the bird feeder that we built like forever ago, and we did this whole process and we built the bird feeder, I feel like the birds are not really using it. Maybe a little bit. Oh, good. I'm glad you're good. Seriously, whenever I see you like log in, I'm like, yay! my twin is here. I took some of the bird food that I've been using in the bird feeder and I put it outside on the ground to see if the birds will just eat it off the ground instead of in the feeder. So if they eat it off the ground, that means they probably like the food, but they don't like the feeder, or they don't like the location of the feeder. And I'm wondering if they are like figuring out the cats can literally watch them the whole time they're eating. So I want to see if I can figure that out. So I put the food outside. My husband said he saw a bunch of birds out there, so bless you. Please don't sneeze in my drink. You okay? Loki, come here. Come here. I feel like he has allergies, Loki does. Like, sometimes, like, he'll just start, like, sneezing out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if we can get the birds more invested in the bird feeder. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, this has been kind of a weird week. You fell asleep watching TikTok on your phone? Your phone was on all night long, so does that mean it didn't charge? So like when you were sleeping, it never charged? Or you just woke up to like, watch this, if you don't have any followers and you need a trending sound to listen to. What is he doing? Loki, what? Oh no. I really don't like when I fall asleep without charging my phone, because like I'll wake up and usually it happens when I'm already tired. And then I wake up and I'm in a rush and then I realize my phone is like at 2% battery and I'm just like, it was on 79% and now it's 20 back on the charger. Aw. You wanna babysit him for a little bit? Loki, you wanna go visit Auntie Sophie? Let's go. Loki has actually been on 2 airplane rides so far. And to my knowledge, he didn't really like it, to be completely honest. I think it's probably kind of scary for him because like the past couple times he was on the plane by himself, so we weren't with him. The first plane ride, he went all the way to Germany by himself and then to Japan. Well, not by himself. He had Moxie and my dog with him. And then they flew to Japan. Because when we moved to Japan, moving overseas is very complicated. So if you ever move overseas, it's never like, oh, I packed my suitcase, I'm ready for vacation. Like, it's like a process, especially like if you're like packing up your house and you need to get paperwork done and you need to figure out where you're gonna live, and you get the idea. It just, there's more and more stuff that needs to be done. And so for the pets, because there was so much to do, the pets went with like a company that specializes in transporting pets. Yes, they fed them, the pets, like I packed their meals, so it was like, I if I can find some photos or something of the carriers and how we set them up, I'll try and like share some of them so you get the idea. But they had like a whole setup. Like the lady that I was working with, her name was Barbie, and she worked with, I want to say Air Vets Pet Relocation. I'll try and look it up too, but this company was like amazing. So anytime there's anything going on, like I would be like, oh, like, is it okay if I pack, extra food for them or whatever? And I email them back and forth, like preparing before they traveled. And then like on the day of the travel, they had like their crate, and then they had like their name, like what their name is, how old they are, their medical records, their food, all of that. Yeah, we told our cats coming to Japan. They flew from the airport in America. They decided they wanted to go to Germany. No, 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 no. So when they went to Germany, Germany wasn't a mini vacation. Although I hope they got to see or experience something, because I've never been to Germany. Um, Ragus is not here. World of Ragus is not here. He's like our German bestie. Um, but yeah, he has me wanting to visit Germany. That aside, the reason they stopped in Germany is because once they left Texas, they were flying on a German air carrier called Lufthansa, which is like very pet friendly. But the flight went from Texas to Germany. I forget exactly where they stopped. And then they did like a vet checkup, so they like checked their health, they made sure that they had food and all that, but the main thing was like the veterinarians checked on them. And then from there they flew to Japan. um yes, I am tracking. I am aware of all of the current events, and honestly I am really not going to get into them on the channel. It's disheartening, and that is pretty much all I want to say on that. Yeah. Even though I don't like talk about like a lot of serious topics on the channel, like usually we keep it light, we keep it goofy, we keep it PG rated. I care about what else is going on, even if I don't share all of my opinions on this specific platform. Yeah. But yeah, I need to get back on track next week. This week has been pretty much, you know, guys, I still have a slight cough. And like I think it was the 21st of May, something like that, that I first started feeling sick. And it's like I still have like a slight cough in my chest. Um but yeah, I this week was like a bed rot day or week. Like I just pretty much like just chilled and like listened to audiobooks and tried to like reset. But I need to kick it into gear next week. Country Illinois? Like a small town? I grew up in a small town. Like they're really I grew up the city I grew up in is like a small town in the US. Um oh, konbawa. Peri-san. O genki desu ka? Um no, Country Illinois is right next to Country, Missouri. Interesting. I've not been in that area. Like I've not been in that part of the US. So my perception of it, or like my ability to imagine it, is kind of limited because I haven't been in that part of the states at all. But I know a couple people that are from there. Um Genki desu. Yay! I'm glad to hear it. Uh 誕生日です。あなたの誕生日ですか? Please let me know. If it really is your birthday, I'll sing happy birthday. I'm not a good singer, but I'll sing happy birthday for you. Missouri sucks. Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Peri-san. Happy birthday to you. Guys, I won't be singing, so this is a rare occasion. Tanjoubi omedetou gozaimasu. But if it's your birthday, legit, I know it's not everybody's birthday, so I'm not singing again. But for Peri-san, We'll sing happy birthday. Oh, I hope you have a really good day for your birthday. So far, lately, it started to get hot here. And like, I started to notice that today because like we had to use like pretty much all the fans in the house to like keep the upstairs clean. And I'm pretty sure like over the next couple weeks, we're gonna have to turn the AC on. Oh my gosh. I remember like as a little kid singing like birthday remixes. Yeah. Actually, when I was little for birthdays, my mom used to make like paper crowns for us instead of birthday hats. And she also used to make like instead of streamers, like party streamers, she would make like from paper, it was like chain link with like construction paper. It's like colorful paper. And she would hang it around the house. And yeah, it was fun. Those are like some good birthday memories. I think my favorite birthday memory as a child is I got to go to, it was for my ninth birthday. I got to go to my dad's job. They had like a take your kids to work day. And like, technically, you had to be 9 to go to the event. But I was 8, and my birthday was like a few days later. But they like let me slip under the radar, and I got to go anyways, and it was so much fun. I just thought it was cool getting to go to my dad's office and like he was like an inspector, so I was like playing with his stamps and stuff like that, and he was like, "Dude, why did I bring her here?" um, my grandma would have a cake book from a long time ago. Oh, that is awesome! Red's room. Yes, you caught us live. You're amazing. Thank you for visiting. My shirt. This this shirt is pretty much like one of the regulars here. I'm like a t-shirt queen at home. Like anytime I'm at home, I'm probably wearing t-shirts or like hoodies or something if it's cold. But this shirt, I don't know if you can see it. I got it at San Japan in San Antonio. We went to a Comic-Con there, and yeah, I still wear it. And then people often ask me like, "What is it? Like, what's up with it?" Like, it looks kind of like anime themed or Japan style or whatever, but I got it in Texas. Um, about time. Yes, it is. I gotta catch one of your lives too. I gotta catch up with everybody. This week was like one of those. Do you ever have weeks where you're just like, man, not today, and it's like the whole week? When I'm home, it's usually sweatpants and a crop top. Yeah, depending on the temperature, depends on the attire, but something comfy. Yeah, welcome to Kanagawa, Japan for the day. I am pretty good. I am actually drinking grown-up juice. Um, I don't even usually drink this, but like we had it laying around, so. At this point, to answer your question though, how am I? I am trying to reset the week because this was a long week. So Fives is amazing. Sophie is great. She is like an OG. Grown up juice, yes. Grown up juice. Some of us are. Some of us are. Several of the subscribers. This is not a kids channel. This is not a kids channel, but several of the subscribers here have mentioned that they are not able to drink grown-up juice yet. So if you're not able to drink grown-up juice yet, then yeah, it's grown-up juice. Cheers, though. Right. I'm a big kid now. Exactly. See, the mind link is working. Actually, I feel like I can almost remember the first drink that I had. I want to say it was like a Corona Light or something. And it wasn't very good. But I was 21, like and all that. I just really honestly never had like a huge interest in it. Um but yeah, I'm pretty sure I was 21 when I had my first drink. You've always wanted to visit Japan? I think you would love it. But it's kind of it's kind of like when on this channel I try and show the different sides of it, but like I feel like on social media it's like a very like highlight real perspective of Japan that shows like Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo. And then like sometimes I'll do live streams and I'll be like out in the middle of like the countryside and people will be like, "Wait, like where's the crowds? Like I thought Japan was like, you know, like futuristic cities and overcrowded. Like what's going on?" And like Tokyo, parts of Tokyo are like that, but not all of Japan is like that. So it's just there's like a dichotomy between what social media shows and like what actually most of Japan is like, if that makes sense. On my bucket list is kissing Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift. I mean, I think they're both pretty locked in on. Well, Taylor Swift seems like she's pretty locked in on her relationship. I heard Billie Eilish was dating somebody. I don't really keep up with a ton of celebrity news. Um, but I have been following like some like legal stuff. I do follow some of that, but I don't know. I'm not super big on celebrities. The thing with celebrities in my mind is like they are people just like everybody else. And I think a lot of times they kind of get put on this pedestal where it's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so and so." And it's like, "Yes, that's so and so, but they're also a person too, you know?" And everything that comes with that, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And I'm just over here like whatchamacallit? The Lipton frog. Do you guys remember that meme? Like forever ago? And it's like Kermit the Frog and he's just like, "That's none of my business." All jokes aside, I think that it's terrible that some people don't understand that like when you have a platform or you do have like a far reach and a lot of people are looking at you, regardless of how you got there, like you do have like some responsibility just in and of that self to like try and hold yourself to some sort of moral standard because people are going to look at you regardless. So like for somebody to take an opportunity where they could like, if you look at it right and you could change the whole situation around and it would be completely opposite, right? And that person is like helping everybody and looking out for everybody, like it would be a completely different story. But now the disgusting things that we're seeing is like worsened by the fact that it's like you use your power to bully other people. Like how evil is that? That's all I'm gonna say on that. Sesame Street. When I was little, when I was little, yeah, and sometimes that's not a good thing, Red's Room. Definitely not always a good thing. When I was little, I think the Tickle Me Elmo came out. Now I'm showing my age. But when I was little, the Tickle Me Elmo came out, and it's the one that you like tickle and it like wiggles around and stuff. And like I think that was like the first time I can think of where I found that people were like fighting over something. Like at the store, like people were all trying to like get something from each other, but I was obsessed with Elmo. So I kind of did want the toy. The Tickle Me Elmo toy, and I also liked this is like very niche. So I don't know how popular it is. But have you heard of Bananas in Pajamas? And it was like, I don't know, like two or three bananas, and they're like in pajamas, and they're like, bananas in pajamas. You know what I'm talking about? You bought one for your son. Oh, that is so sweet. What? That's wild. I can't believe you heard of Bananas in Pajamas. I loved them too as a kid. I don't know why. There was something about them that I was obsessed with. Your grandma has a ton of dolls and stuff in her basement. There's a Cookie Monster. Yay. Wait, it looked at you? Like as in like you went into the area and like it like looked at you? Like scary looked at you? Girl, I would run. You know, okay, another meme. You know Sweet Brown? The lady is like, and I, oh no, there's a fire. I didn't grab my shoes or nothing. I ran for my life. Do you know what I'm talking about? I would run. Do I know this one? Oh, I'm so curious. I love Charlie Brown. Every holiday we would watch the different Charlie Brown movies. Don't drown your food? Huh? No, I don't. Is this a meme that I have to look up? Because I absolutely will. Loki, what was that about? Loki's just like, maybe it was the reference for Snoopy. Yeah, we watched all of the Charlie Brown movies when I was a kid, and Snoopy is super popular in Japan. Like Snoopy and Charlie Brown is I think a little bit less popular, but like Snoopy's super popular in Japan. And so then I've been telling people there's like movies about like Snoopy and his friends and stuff, and people are just like, "What?" No, there's a show, a commercial of one time they were telling kids don't drive their food by putting all these things in it. Oh, I gotta look that up. I gotta look that up. When I was a kid, to be completely honest, I was like an extremely picky eater. Sorry, it's voice to text or something where it's off. That's okay. I do that all the time. Like if I want to like get information out fast, like I'll text my friends and family with like voice to text, and that, especially if I have like the tea, I'm gonna use voice text. You grew up with bubble guppies, Mickey Mouse, Little Einsteins, Dora the Explorer. Oh my gosh, I dressed up as Dora the Explorer during like a fun run, and I spent, you know how I like crafting and stuff. Like I spent hours making like this backpack into like a Dora the Explorer backpack, so it had like googly eyes on it and like a felt mouth, and I had like a map on it. It was so much fun. I like running though, so don't drown your food. You know what? I'm gonna like make a memo and look that up because I want to like see the original content for that. Because oh, even better. Stuff is even funnier when it has like a song that goes with it. My personal favorite is that I can't forget Sophia the First. I haven't seen Sophia the First. Like, I haven't actually watched the show, but I always thought the character was super cute. I'm gonna look up the don't drown your food thing. If I can get this ink pen to write. Actually, like, when I'm not, like, making YouTube content, like, on my personal time, like, on my just, like, goofy social media or, like, my regular social media, half of what I post is, like, memes. Like, just straight memes or just, like, ridiculous funny stuff. Like, right before this live stream, I found, like, I don't know if it's, like, for Instagram, it's tricky to tell if it's trending or you have to take a shower and get ready to go. And undamage your hair. What happened to your hair? I'll ask you about that when you're done getting ready. I don't want to hold you up. Take care of yourself, Sophie. Much love as always. It was to promote kids' health. That's good. Okay. That would do it. That would do it. I feel like my hair has been every color possible. I will try, especially on Fridays. I'm gonna try and at least be consistent on Fridays. My work schedule is supposed to be changing again soon. So I'm kind of waiting until that hits, which should be next month. And then I should try and commit to a schedule for lives then. Oh, thank you. I will post you then. So you post me, I'll post you. Okay, I will. I'll do better with that. I'm trying to work on it. I'm hoping that by the end of next month, I should have a slightly regulated schedule. And then I should be able to go from there. Like recently, for the past month or so, I was working an on-call schedule. But that stopped last week. Yeah, that stopped last week. And then next month, it should be like pretty much like a 9 to 5. But it's like, instead of 9 to 5, it's like 7 to 4 or something like that. But like regular office hours, it's consistent. So that should be easier to plan live streams. So fingers crossed it's easier that way. We're gonna try. It's I feel like it's more fun when I can like have a consistent schedule available for everybody, because then everybody knows when I'm gonna be live, and then that way, like if you really want it to show up for lives, then you kind of like know when they are and stuff like that. It seems like it helps, so I'm gonna try and get back to doing that. I just need, I don't know, I need to get my schedule organized. I'm the type of person that does well with structure, and then like when I create the structure for myself, it does make it a little bit harder. Your scheduled lives are, ooh, okay, hold up. Let me write that down too. If it's 4:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Canada time. The 4:30 a.m. might be convenient for Japan, because like the time difference here is like, for the US and Japan, like it's about 17 hours time difference for like most of my friends and family, I think. So if it's early in the morning there, it's probably like a convenient time here. But I feel like I don't, I don't have it like memorized like I used to. Like when I first moved to Japan, I was able to like, okay, if it's whatever time here, I know exactly what time it is in the States, but now I gotta double check. Canada too. I gotta check and see kind of like what the time difference is. But I'll try to make that and see what it's like. I've seen some of your short content, and I actually really enjoy that. So I'm sure your live streams are fun. Do you, when you post like your schedules, do you try and include like the different time zones for like the different areas where like your subscribers live or like say they're from? Do you feel like that helps? I try to do that, but I feel like it kind of fluctuates a little bit. Ah, you're saying that you do the two different live streams so that you can catch day shift and night shift, basically, depending on where they are in the world. That is smart. That is really, really smart. Yep. Yep, absolutely. I feel like YouTube can be like a bit of I don't know if this is relatable. I think it probably depends on the person. I feel like it can range from being a bit of a grind to like just you're just smooth sailing. It's like very very easy. You know, you're just like, okay, I've got all this content planned. I've got it edited. Shoot, edit, shoot, whatever. Oh, with editing, you don't do that? Or like not a lot of it? Sometimes. Oh, okay, okay. I use usually I use Chat GPT to help me with that. So I'll be like, okay, I know for my channel, for example, I have like a lot of subscribers from like um Japan, the US, Germany, India, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, or something like that. And so then I'll plug that in. It fluctuates a little bit for my channel too, but I'll check and it's like, okay, wherever everybody is, I'm going to kind of go based off of that. And then the people that specifically said like where they're at, like the people that are requesting, like if Sophie's saying like, oh, I want a time or something, I'll try and match it to wherever her time is. Yeah. It can be a struggle. It really can be. Like this right now at the moment, this is fun cuz like it's like talking to a friend and like especially because like I know enough of you just based on like interacting in Ragus World of Ragus live streams, like I kind of get like the vibe from you, like kind of like what your personality is like a little bit, and then I've seen your content. So it just feels like a conversation. That feels a lot more like easygoing. But then when you're like tired and you don't feel like streaming, but you already like have made like okay, this is on my schedule. I've made a commitment. I got to stream, but I'm like I have a really long day. I don't feel like doing it, then it starts feeling like a grind. Or like editing content. I don't mind editing content personally, and I think for like Japan content, sometimes it's helpful if I edit it, like if I add like the location in the video, like maybe somebody else wanted to go to the same place that I did so they can find it. But like the more you add onto it, the longer it takes. And then, like, if it's not coming out exactly the way you want, it can feel frustrating. Or if it's taking too long, it can feel frustrating. You're chill all the time. That's good, though. Because, like, that's part of why. That's part of why I try to keep things like PG. I say that a lot. Like, let's just keep it PG. You know what I mean? Like, we all know what this is, but I'm calling it grown up juice. You know what I mean? Like, we're just chilling, okay? Like, there's no need to escalate. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like that kind of helps, like, cause how you're saying like that you're chill. Like, sometimes like people just need to like be able to come to your channel and like relax and enjoy your content and enjoy like what you're putting out and like not, I don't know, stress, if that makes sense. So I don't know, depending on the channel. I know some people like, you know, they like rage bait and that's their style, or I don't know, try and like motivate people, so like push people. Like, I guess it really depends on your style, but yeah. Like, I think we just sometimes we just need to like, you know, chill. Yeah, I don't really either. Like, I've seen, so like specifically like the thing that comes to mind is like creating content here in Japan. Um like, often I'll be like, you know, I ask permission before filming, or like I confirm that this was okay, or like I'll say things which kind of seem unnecessary. Like, obviously you would ask first, or like whatever, right? Like, but then the reason that I do it is some people go and like do things in Japan just knowing that like this is like a caring culture, and like people tend to like try and be considerate of each other, and like people go and do things that are like provocative. And so sometimes I'll just clarify things to show that I'm not doing that. Like, okay, in this situation I asked for permission or whatever. Yeah. Definitely. I agree. I really agree. And that's the other thing, Red's Room, you make a really good point, is like sometimes like the people that like create content to like aggravate people, they do it as a strategy. Like, I haven't seen her in a long time and I don't remember her handle. Yeah, I don't remember her channel name handle. So I'm not calling her out. But there's a content creator that I was seeing for a while, and it's like every time she would post, she would be like making like some absurd situation, like, oh, like my friends are so rude, like they were jealous because my dress looked better than theirs or whatever. And it's like she's obviously making a situation where there is none. Like, everybody's just like laughing and talking and having a good time, and she's like pretending that there's some sort of like drama going on. And it's just like she does it to aggravate people. And so then people will go in her comment section and be like, you're this, you're that, or whatever. And it's like, I was really confused by it for a while, because I'm like, why is she continually making this content? Because it's obviously aggravating people and she's getting a ton of hateful comments. Exactly. Like, she creates situations that are not happening. But I realize she's doing it as a strategy. Like, she's posting this content, she's irritating people, people are getting mad, and then they're going to her comment section and like, and then so when they do that, exactly, they're boosting the channel. And it's like, it's way better if you have like the mindset that you do, where you're putting your energy towards like people that like you can respect. Exactly. Or like actually have something that like you relate to or something. But it's 100% strategy, because I remember first seeing that channel and I was just like, what is she doing? Because like all of her comments are like very hateful, like, why are you doing this, or like, you're just da 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 da. And it's like, she's doing it on purpose, because these people are commenting and they're giving her attention and they're boosting her in the algorithm so she can make more content like that and, you know, get her YouTube check. She's doing it on purpose. Which, respect in a sense, but it couldn't be me. But in her situation though, I think that person is just like almost creating like obnoxious skits, but I draw the line at like going and irritating other people for fun. And I feel like that's kind of like some of what people have been doing in Japan, and I really want to distance my channel from that. Some people love drama and anything that triggers people, always trying to get lots of likes, lots of visits, lots of hate at the same time. If that's something that you're into, by all means. Exactly, exactly. But I think there's better ways, like more creative ways to get people's attention. And I've actually seen some strategies like that on your channel. And I don't remember the name of the video. It was like a short video that you did, and it was like a loop with like a bee or something. I don't want to like read your game. Like I don't want to call out your game. Do you know which video I'm talking about? Cuz I saw that short and I was like, this is brilliant content creation right here. Cuz there's a video that you have and it's like the way that it's set up, the way it flows, it makes people want to watch the video past the 100% mark. And I was like, this is genius. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to, spill your secrets or anything like that. So that's why but if you know the video I'm talking about, like, I was like, this is chef's kiss content creation right here. And like sometimes it's kind of an experimentation process to try and do that. Like for shorts, a lot of times for my shorts, I'll cut them from long videos and then link. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta throw things at the board and see what sticks. For me, a lot of times I'll make shorts from my long form content, and then I'll link the long form video to try and like pull people into the long form video so that people get like there's actually a story here to see, like, you know what I mean? Like to get it to go full circle. And then other times I'll make like more cinematic shorts. But my problem is like sometimes I'll get so carried away with like the aesthetics that it's like you have to remember, like for shorts, like the attention span, like the view and hook thing have to be almost like simultaneous. Like as soon as somebody clicks on it, they should get some sort of payoff right away. And I feel like with shorts, I'm not super good at it because I'm used to creating long form content, and I think that's probably something I need to work on. I don't know if that makes sense. But like with the shorts, like I'm still trying to like tell a story, but I don't want to keep it too long, past the 10 seconds. Yep. And connect them to the videos. But yeah, this past week has been kind of a burnout week. And like at first when I realized like I was feeling very burned out, I was like kind of frustrated by that. And then I was like, you know what? This is just going to be a take the week off week. And like my content is to the point where like this weekend, the weekly video that comes out is still going to come out on time. So who's going to know? Nobody's going to know. I mean, if you check like daily to see if I posted shorts, you would notice. But other than that, it's not something that everybody is going to notice. But yeah, this week was rough. Like I really needed to take a break. So that's what I did. Just took a break. Like this guy, look at my cat. He's gone. Yes, you. I realized like it had become really, really quiet. That's my other cat. He jumped up because he heard her. Yeah, I realized it had gotten really quiet. I'm like, hold on, what happened to my cats? But I think they've just all been sleeping. It's like I said, it's getting warm here. I'm gonna like see if I can open a window or something because like it's getting to the point where I think by next week it's gonna be probably too hot to be enjoyable to walk around outside. There we go. Hopefully it cools down a little bit in here. Um Well, the first time that I lived in Japan was living in Okinawa. So that is like very tropical. It's almost like Hawaii. Like I've never been to Hawaii, but like, tropical, like clear water, sandy beaches, gorgeous tropical climate. And that area like does get a lot of tourists and there are a lot of Americans there. So it didn't feel quite as shocking. It was definitely a change and I like loved it right away. Mac, what's up? Long time no see. And you got the cat in the box. There's old boy taking a nap. Say hi. Too much expensive cat food. All right, Red's room. Back to your question. So the first time I lived in Japan for 2 years. I lived in Okinawa. It wasn't as much of a culture shock on round one. Um, it kind of felt like a 2 year long vacation. Round two, we moved to Japan October 2022, and we moved to a small town in Japan. The closest big city to that town is Hiroshima. And it was a huge culture shock because, like, that area is like, it's not like a Tokyo where like you've got like, international business going on, entertainment, you've got like Disneyland there, you've got like, influencers in and out traveling and making content, and you've just got so much going on that people are kind of more used to people that don't know the rules, people that don't speak Japanese, etc. But living in Iwakuni, which is closer to Hiroshima, was like a culture shock. Like it was a huge culture shock because you start to realize like, man, there is so much I don't really know about what's going on. And like initially I felt like, yeah, I did. Like in the beginning, we went to a restaurant in Hiroshima and like everybody was talking in there, and like for some reason my husband and I were sitting at a counter, so we're like next to each other, but there's like a separator, right? And we were like whispering to each other because we didn't speak much Japanese at all at that point, and so we're like, what is going on with the menu? Like, how do we order whatever? And then the people in the kitchen were like, shh, and they got super mad, and I like remember getting up and going to the bathroom and crying, and I was just like, the reason I was just so upset was because it was like multiple things had led to that point, and it's like, dude, what am I doing here? Like, I'm in another country. I don't speak the language. I feel like people are treating me funny. And, like, I don't even know how to, like, communicate back. Like, sorry, I didn't know what was up. I'm trying to read the menu. Like, you know what I mean? I just felt so frustrated by everything at first. And then this was also my first time, like, living in, like, a Japanese house and living in a Japanese community. Yeah. And so it wasn't like the 2 year vacation thing. Completely different vibe. And so over time we started like, okay, here's a story that's a better example. So when we first moved, we learned that there's a tradition where like when you move into a new neighborhood, you would like give your neighbors like a letter or like some sort of introduction, and then you give them like a small gift, like you bring over cookies or you I don't know, like bring over candy or something and be like, okay, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. This is who I am. I'm your next door neighbor, right? And so we did that. And I remember one of our neighbors saw my tattoos and they were just like, no, 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 no. And they like slammed the door. And it was stuff like that, right? But not everybody was like that, right? And so, like, there are next door neighbors, for example, it was like another couple, like young couple, and like we were making mistakes left and right because like there were so many things about like Japanese culture that we really didn't know. And like they were super patient and they would like literally our neighbor studied English just to be able to say like conversation with us. Like she was like working on like writing a letter to us in English. And then like we ended up saying hello before she could finish the letter. And so then they would like hang out with us or like try and talk with us. And like now, after living in Japan for 2.5 years, looking back, I'm like, man, we made so many awkward like social mistakes that were just like cultural differences, but like people wouldn't do it in Japan and they completely overlooked it. And there were a lot of people like that like really looked out for us. And so there have been some real like sketchy moments where like, you know, people see that I have tattoos and they're like, oh, I don't like you, you know, before they even get to know me or whatever. But it's like for me it's very easy to forget about the people that act like that because there have been so many people that like literally went above and beyond to be super nice to us. And like some of my coworkers were Japanese and like they would teach me like words in Japanese or like I start studying Japanese, so I would like practice the word of the day or I would like write notes in hiragana and be like, can you guys read this, this is my new word today, and they would hype me up. And even like when we were looking for like another place to live, I think that's part of the concern though, like because tattoos in Japan, like if you have tattoos in Japan, like you are probably either like young and rebellious or like maybe you're like, like, you know, I don't want to say a criminal, but like probably like a criminal. Like it raises an eyebrow because it's like typically speaking, if you have a whole bunch of tattoos, like you would be like a member of organized crime. So like if you have the tattoos and you're not part of organized crime, then like why do you have them? Like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of raised an eyebrow. And I even had like when I lived in Okinawa, there was a guy who asked me like, so like why do you have tattoos? Cuz he was just curious like no, 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 no. No, he was like, why do you have tattoos? And then I explained to him, like, some of them are like artistic or some of them have like a deep personal meaning. Like, this tattoo right here is, I don't know if you guys can see it really well because my skin is pretty dark. Um, but, like, cherry blossoms are like kind of like a symbol of like how life can be transient, which basically means like it's here one day, it's gone tomorrow. And so I got those tattoos like because my dad was really sick and he had like terminal cancer, and so it was just like a coping thing for me. You know what I mean? So like some of my tattoos have a really deep like personal meaning, and some of them are just like goofy. Like I think I got, where is it? I got this one, drinking with friends. You can't see it super well. But yeah, in Japan, they're generally, I don't know. It depends on the environment that you go to. Like some places, like maybe in Tokyo, most places in Tokyo, it's like, dude, you're from someplace else, so yeah, makes sense you have tattoos. Um, but like even we went to Nagasaki recently, and the hotel that we were staying at had a hot springs, and then like as soon as they saw that we had tattoos, because we just went to ask, we just wanted to know like what was the deal, and they were like, whoa, tattoos, absolutely not, like no, you know what I mean? So like it's still a thing. Like I don't feel like it inhibits my everyday life, but like yeah, there's definitely some big cultural differences living in Japan versus like living in the US. And I think probably a lot of them at this point I'm used to. But yeah, there's some that are very different. The other thing is like one that I feel like I will probably never get fully used to is like I feel like people tend to wear a lot of clothes in the summer. Like people will like wear like a t-shirt, and then they'll wear like a long sleeve undershirt, and then they'll wear like a face like mask or something like to protect their face, and a sun visor, and like I think part of the reason people do it is to protect themselves from like UV rays and stuff like that. But yeah, I just it's so hot here. Like I don't get it personally. I don't know how people can do that. Um, but yeah, that's one of the cultural things that like I think it's I'll never get it. Maybe just I like just use lots of sunscreen. That's what I do. I don't know. I also think it people tend to be more a little bit more like modest and conservative in the way that they dress, so I think that could be part of it too, but when it's like 80% humidity, you will not catch me in a long sleeve. No, thank you. Can you guys hear my cat galloping around the house? Because I feel like I can hear her. They don't want to get dark, not UV. They do it here too. Um, I think that's probably part of it too. Um, yeah, I think it's probably for a mixture of reasons, but I think it's doing too much. It's doing too much. I do think kind of going into like aesthetics a little bit. I do think that like certain aesthetics are kind of like more popular here. Going to the point, I don't want to say that there's prejudice, but I do think that there are some prejudice that do exist. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's something to be aware of too. But like it's not something that like I'm glad that you actually found some value from it, because I feel like I was everywhere. um I feel like aesthetically in Japan, I've had a lot of really surprising experiences. Um my aesthetic is not like my main thing that I think about like like on a daily basis. Like obviously I don't want to like look completely dusty, but like it's not like my number one priority. But I do notice that like people will be like, "Oh, like your hair is different. Like that's cool." Or like, you know, just like ask questions about like where I'm from or stuff like that. And I do think that that's like very interesting, because I feel like in the US like I'm pretty much girl next door aesthetic. Like there's one of me on I don't want to say there's one of me on every street, but I mean like I look very average in the US. Like I'm not unique in my opinion. And I think that I do get more attention or questions, um probably more on a lot of them positive here in Japan. Um Probably so. I would say that's a fair assumption, but I think I submit that anybody who is not 100% Japanese, or at least anybody who doesn't look 100% Japanese, anybody you could clock as not 100% Japanese would probably get treated slightly different. Because I know several people that are like, Japanese, mom or dad, or one parent, and then they've got like another parent that's like something else, and then their experience tends to be a little bit different. At least that's how it seems. Like, obviously, that's not my lived experience, but I think in general, what I have seen or noticed is that anybody who doesn't look or seem 100% Japanese does get treated a little bit more like an outsider from my perspective. I wouldn't say that I've been singled out because my skin is dark in Japan. I would honestly say that. It's Chips! What's up, my friend? Yeah, I think there's definitely gonna be like prejudice anywhere that you go, and like people will judge you for all different things. Many of them, like, some things you cannot even control, like, oh, this person is short or this person is whatever. But I think in Japan, my main experience, like the main thing I notice is that I get treated as someone who's not Japanese, for better or worse. Sometimes I get treated as someone who's not Japanese as like, oh wow, you are a guest in Japan. Like, let me take care of you. Like, let me, show you all the wonderful things about my country because I'm proud of it. And then I get other people that are just like, ugh. Like, I've experienced both. But I don't think for me, my experience has not been like, oh, you're black. It's been like, you're not from Japan. And it's rare. Um, Rather take being unknown than a day in Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn really that wild? Like, what is happening in Brooklyn? What is up the weather I'm having? I am good. How about you? Is the weather there crazy right now? Because the weather here is just hot and humid, to be completely honest. Like, see, Loki is like struggling. He's like knocking out. He can't even keep his eyes open. I think he was licking himself and fell asleep while slicking. It's just too hot. And I don't even know where Moxie went. Oh, it's winter there. I forgot about that. That is wild. That is so interesting. Um, you're just homestead there? Do you have like chickens? I asked because I've always been curious about having chickens. I would kind of like to have chickens. Oodies and beanies are coming out. Ah, that is so interesting. Like, it's definitely like at this point becoming summer. Like, you can feel it in the air. It's even humid. What are you doing? Woke up from your nap? Come here. Oh, you're heavy. I feel like he has gained some weight lately. I need to try and encourage him to run on his cat wheel. Ooh. Mm-mm. He's about to put his tail in my drink. That is so interesting. I'm still tripping over that. That it's like cold there. Because it's just gradually been getting hotter and hotter here. Loki would pick up on them chickens that you guys saw. Aw, thank you. That is really sweet to say. You too. On the list you go. Actually, I would really, really love to travel to all the countries that are around here. Because, like, I feel like there's so many places I could just, like, hop to. But I need to save up for the world tour, you know? I don't know if Loki would actually, kind of going back to the chickens, I don't know if Loki would actually chase chickens or not. Because before we moved to Japan, we had a hamster. Well, when I say we had a hamster, the hamster was my husband's. Um, but, like, the cats never, like, full on attacked it or anything. Like, obviously, like, we supervised them, so, like, the cats couldn't, like, terrorize the hamster, but they seem pretty tolerant of him, so they might try to befriend the chicken, perhaps. Do you go to Australia during summer or winter? Do not go. So early spring, which is like around October. Okay. Noted. Interesting. In early spring, this is just like from the outside looking in perspective. Um in the early spring, like how likely is it that there will be like critters and stuff out? Cuz like I have seen so like reason I'm asking this question is cuz like I've watched like a lot of like Australia content, but most of it is like Bondi Beach or like Bondi Rescue or like I watched The Crocodile Hunter obsessively when I was a kid, and I watched like this travel show in Australia, and there was like lots of like spiders and stuff, and it's either cyclone season, jellyfish season, mozzie season, mozzie, hot or cold. What are mozzies? I know jellyfish. We get those here. What? So I'm not really like super afraid of spiders, but I was like tidying up the balcony because like, oh no. I don't like mosquitoes. Mosquitoes have already come out here and I have like bites all over like my hands and arms. I'm not looking forward to like the next couple weeks because it's only gonna get worse. Mozzies. That's kind of a cute name for them. I'm trying to remember what they're called here. I think they're called muskeets, but I don't remember for sure. Um, you got attacked and targeted by them. Is for Christmas time? It's warm though, right? October. Let me just make a memo, cause I don't want to forget. If I ever plan a trip to Australia, you're gonna be the first person that I ask. It's Chips, cause I want to like know the safe places to go. I don't know how this pen is running out of ink either, cause it's new. I got this pen at the Shinagawa Aqua Park. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it's fairly new, but peak of summer weather. It's Christmas. That must be so much fun. I can't imagine Christmas being hot though. No. I mean, it did. It in the beginning it did. But now, like for some reason I feel like it's running out of ink. Like it has like a very Can you guys see that? It has like a very thin point. So it picks and chooses when it wants to write. So like it writes like very thin lines, which I like, but I need it to not run out of ink. You had a water fight. That sounds like so much fun. I do love a good water fight. It gives writing elegance. I need to find my gold pen. I don't know where that one went. Yep, it'd be like that sometimes. I need to get. There's a store. You guys just reminded me. There's a store that I've been meaning to go to. I've been meaning to go to this store in Tokyo and make content there because it's like a 4-story stationery store in Tokyo. And I've been meaning to go there. But I feel like I'm literally gonna want to buy everything there. I need to find the classy gold pen. I don't know where I put it. The last time I saw it was in my car, but it's been a little while since I've seen it. That one actually wrote really well. This one's not bad. It just is kind of out of ink. Go back to sleep. He was doing so good when he was sleeping. Three years ago, there was a power outage on Christmas. Oh. That sucks. Does Australia have centralized heating and cooling, or is it like these ones? I'm curious. This is our like air conditioner slash heater, because it also does heating too, but it's like each room kind of has its own. Really? In the States, you guys are resting on protein powder, just in case you're wondering what that was. In the States, we would have like centralized heating and cooling. So like if you wanted to like, I don't know, make the temperature in your whole house cooler, you just like go and set it and it would like change the whole house. The only thing is like for me, I'm usually kind of like always cold, and then my husband's always hot. So whoever sets the temperature is going to be based on their own preference, and then everybody's going to get cold. Loki distracted me. We going strong off protein. Absolutely. Bread's room. I am going to post you after I stop streaming. I appreciate you. Yeah, good vibes. Cheers. I actually wasn't even planning on streaming this long, but I had not even streamed, and I was like, you know, I have to stream at least by the end of the week. I appreciate you too. We had a good conversation. Hopefully I can catch one of your live streams soon too, and then I can be a visitor in your world. I can virtually visit Canada. That would be fun. And I say that because Red's Room has his own channel, so if you guys want to check that out, you guys can do that. He said he streams pretty often, so it's 11:30 p.m. for you. Okay, hold up. Maybe our times are not that different. That's wild. Our times are close. It's like 10:30 here. So it's like around the same time. 9:31 a.m. Interesting. Different time zones. I didn't realize Australia was so close. And then usually when I do when I do night streams, you are from the future. Usually I'm the one from the future. When I do night streams here in Japan, then the states, US homies and Canada homies are waking up, heading to work, heading to school, starting off their morning, doing their ice face bath or whatever. Have you guys seen that trend where the guy like wakes up and puts his face in ice and all that? You're in the past. You know, I feel like to me, it's harder to adjust going back in time, like going back to the States from Japan, than it is to come from. It's easier to go back to the States. Guys, I'm getting confused. I'm tired. Yeah, I feel like it's easier to reset here. Going to the States is harder for some reason. Because I think going back in time, it's like you repeat a day, basically. Does that make sense? Like, it's like you get on the plane, you know, today, and then you land, it's like it's still the same day or something. It's trippy. But, like, if you go the other way around, it feels like you've gone to the future or something. See, this is part of how I don't even keep track of the like time zones anymore, because I literally just confuse myself. I don't know how I used to do it. Yeah, it feels like a leap day. Yes. Yes, absolutely. But I feel like if you're living in Australia, like Japan actually might be a really convenient place to visit, because like you get the international vibes, but without like the major jet lag, I think. Cause like if the time zones are that close, like that would actually be pretty convenient. What are you doing? It's like me opening the window and letting in a draft has made my cat wake up. That is very smart. I remember you saying that you studied Japanese. And now that we have this conversation, it actually makes a lot of sense. Loki, do you want to co-host with me? I think opening the window has woken him all the way up. Now where are you going? Well, guys, I think I'm probably going to give it another 10 minutes, but I am actually getting just a tiny bit tired, if you guys can tell. Between the time of day that it is, because it's past my bedtime, and the grown up juice, I'm definitely ready to go to bed. But I'll give it another 10 minutes just in case anybody had something that was on their mind they didn't get to say. We'll just hang out for a little bit longer before I head out. What are you doing, man? I don't know why he's so active now. No, 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 no. I think tomorrow's task is going to be weeding the backyard because now that the rain and temperature have both increased, the weeds are kind of out of control around our house. We have like some concrete, so that's keeping some of them under control, but like the backyard is really getting a lot of weeds. Um, and I was like working on the patio earlier to try and like tidy that up and like get that organized and like kind of moving plants around and trying to like get a summer garden going, even though I feel like it's maybe a little bit late for that. And I was moving stuff around, like flower pots around on the patio, and there's a spider that's like the size of my hand that was like crawling around on like the potting soil bags I had up there. And I feel like I almost flung the bag over the balcony, but it was too heavy to like fling it. But like, I don't, it's not that I'm afraid of spiders, it's just I really don't like the idea of them being on me. Like, if I see the spider like out in nature, just walking around or like, I don't know, living on a rock or something, I don't care. But like, once I feel like it's gonna like run on my hand or something, like, it's a no go. So tomorrow I think I'm gonna have to brave the patio and brave the spiders up there and finish tidying that up and finish weeding the yard. And my other task is gonna be brushing Loki because in the short time that he crawled all over me while we were talking, he's managed to get cat hairs all over me. So it seems like it's time to brush him and Moxie out because they're shedding again as it's getting warmer. I've got like cat hairs all over me. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to start turning the AC on soon because it's getting hot. So brush them out, do some gardening. Maybe get up early and take a walk and go sit by the ocean because it's at this point it's getting warm enough where like the weather should be perfect to go sit at the beach early in the mornings, and I haven't done that in a while. So I think that would be like a really nice way to start the weekend. So I think those are my main goals for tomorrow. First the chores, but after that maybe sit at the beach and enjoy that because I haven't done that in a minute. Not last weekend. The weekend before last, we had a barbecue at the beach, but it wasn't like an early morning thing. That was more of a cookout, which that's the first time that I've ever had like a cookout or barbecue in Japan. So it was interesting to like experience that. Like we rented like the barbecue kit, so like we rented like the grill and charcoal and all of that from like a local business. But the barbecue setup was completely different than anything I've seen in the States before. So it was an adventure. See, the tiredness is hitting. Well, I feel like it's just about time to sign off because I am starting to feel tired. It's really nice to hang out with you guys because I feel like this whole week has been, I don't know, it's been a rough, weird week. So this is a very nice way to kind of like finish it up and then start afresh. next week. Hopefully next week I'm posting more shorts and more content and all of that. I'm gonna try and get back on the grind next week, but this week I was just feeling kind of down and burned out. So thank you for hanging out with me. I feel like this has been a really positive way to end the week. I'm gonna let Loki sign us off. Loki, come here. Come here. Come here. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone? No, 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 not me. Did you just drip? Dude. Come here. What was it that fell off of you? Loki is not participating in the goodbye routine, but Loki says bye. Kind of. Alright, good night, guys, or good morning, wherever you are. I hope that you have a very good day, and we will see you later. I am going to get ready for bed, and probably so is Loki. So, see you guys later. Say bye, Loki.